It is generally good practice to respect our elders, those who have been alive longer than we have. Yet there is an exception, which is if the elder is unwise, meaning not embodying any wisdom, they deserve lesser respect on an individual case-by-case basis. As we age, the body, and thus the physical mind and physical heart and other organs and muscular systems will start to go. It's said we have maximum energy at age 10, then it's all physically and even somewhat emotionally downhill from there. As an example, the United States just had a cringy presidential debate between the two oldest potential candidates in the country's history. One is an 81-year-old elder statesman, and the other is only 3 years younger at age 78. The 81-year-old elder has had bad doll hair plugs, which have been upgraded with new hair-growing technology, has had a facelift, has a natural stutter that combined with a bad cold resulted in him coughing and often speaking more quietly, thus appearing more frail, and when not speaking seemed to linger with a strange cold stare. While the 78-year-old elder is overweight with a gut, has a flabby neck vagina, bad toupee to cover up his bald clown head, wears bronzer and lift shoes to make himself appear an inch or two more tall, and has severe fecal incontinence, which essentially results in him having to wear adult diapers that then means he's essentially really smelly. And probably both of them have to pee 3 times during the night due to prostate issues. But none of those physical traits should be made fun directly at, because fellas, all of us are eventually headed towards some of those things. What is of concern with both of them are their mental and moral capacities to be responsible for such a high-stress, high-tension, high-stakes job. With the 81-year-old elder having trouble efficiently and forcefully finishing sentences while having a superior heart and moral compass, and the 78-year-old elder also occasionally slurring a word, yet while serial lying and having zero moral compass. So in that case, we would say one elder is certainly wiser than the other and thus deserves more respect. Historically, since about the beginning of the Reformation in the early 16th century, Western cultures have placed greater value on younger adults not because of their physical youthfulness and not having any of the previously stated traits, but primarily because of immature and off-balance Protestant values that tie a person's worth almost exclusively to their ability to work. Eastern cultures tend to value age and wisdom, and experienced elders can share more than Western ones in those cultures typically, with multi-generation households being more common in the East than in the West. In modernity, wise elders can offer into their retirement years, via past experience, guidance, perspective, support, contributions, legacy, and hopefully most of all, wisdom, all of which have huge value to enrich those younger than themselves, fostering a culture where experience and knowledge are cherished and passed on. Yet some elders just are not very wise. They are young and immature souls, resulting in physically older, bitter, grumpy curmudgeons stuck in bad routines and outdated mindsets that add, unfortunately, to ageism. While elder neglect or abuse is unacceptable, and self-respect should not decline on the curve of life, respect is a two-way street. So the caregiver, guardian, role model, parent, grandparent, great-grandparent also needs to earn that on flowering younger minds, via first practicing respect for themselves and then onto others. Thomas Paine once said, "Give every other human being every right that you would claim for yourself." This goes beyond respect into dignity and legacy. In indigenous traditions around the world, respect for elders held and still holds a profound significance rooted in cultural values, spiritual practices, and community harmony for providing leadership, healing, guidance, sacrifices, passing down tradition, and most of all, as wisdom keepers, typically led for eons by councils of wise elders with learned experience within nature. Even though their meat suits may be somewhat failing and internal operating systems are slowing, respecting wise elders should be a timeless virtue that spans cultures and generations, when those elders embody even some level of wisdom. Since our documentaries can take years to make, these insights were created with the goal of us being on camera providing you more consistent content. They are independently made and often feel for us like throwing a Kleenex into the Grand Canyon alone while surrounded by tumbleweeds. So if you find values in these shorter insights, please do the usual things that favor the Ghost in the Machine algorithms. We never run any ads, so also consider navigating over to our overarching website, nilesheckman.org, where you can acquire our longer form content, such as our films or narrated essays bundled in volumes, or even become an annual member for a very modest fee. Cheers for watching and or listening.